Me too. All right, I gotta do this thing. I think we need a new one of those lighter things, because that one I think is running out of fluid.
Okay. I have to remind me.
Next time I'm at Home Depot, maybe I'll remember.
Yeah, I'll be at Lowe's.
Yeah.
We have about 2
I don't
minutes.
know if I just have to put the lavalier on. Yeah, I mean, with the choir music, he sent this bunch of music to her, but he doesn't know Jewish music. So she panicked and sent it all to me, saying, "What do you think?" We'll find out. It's not out.
Let's see how much he's very encouraging. He's not going to be over. You just tell him. He doesn't know the level of that, but it's an issue. We say that we can handle that.
I mean, who knows what's going to happen?
Might be for next year. And the year after, so you end up doing 2 or 3. I don't know how much percent.
Expectations, so whatever it is, it'll be wonderful.
That's it. That's exactly right. I know he has plans. I don't know if he has expectations. No, honestly. So plans and expectations are different things, So whoop, we're just about at 6. See what we can do. All right. We're ready. You ready to rock and roll? We're ready to rock and roll. Shabbat Shalom. I like the spotlight. Rabbi Ben kept saying, "You're not going to like it when you," because usually I do the second part and he does the first part, and by the second part the sun's out. But I like this. I got a reading light right here. It's the advantage to being short, right? Because if I were taller, it'd be in my eyes. That was his problem. There's always some, can't reach the top of the shelf, but I can not get blinded by the sun. We're going to begin this evening. Welcome, welcome. We're so glad you're here as we get together and join in a little Shabbat tefillah, a little spirited Shabbat. Are you ready, Arlene, to
I'm ready.
rock it today? All right. Well, we're on page 5, or actually we're not on any page because we always begin with a little Shabbat Nigun. We had a little preview. That was very nice. The music was lovely. It kind of got us into the quiet mood. It helped me take a breath, which has been one of those days. I don't know about you, but it was one of those weeks and one of those days, certainly. So So I'm happy that Shabbat is here, and we take a deep breath as we join together in our Shabbat Nigun on no page. So join us as Arlene leads.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la la, ya la 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 ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la, ya la la.
We turn in our Siddur to page 5 towards the bottom. There you'll find Shalom Aleichem as we welcome in the ministering angels of Shabbat. Again, bottom half of page 5.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzetem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
If you'll turn back to page 4 and we rise, as you'll find the bracha, the blessing for lighting the candles, as we again welcome in our Shabbat.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner, Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom. You may be seated. We turn to page 11 as we begin the formal part of Kabbalat Shabbat, our service for welcoming in the Sabbath. We are on page 11.
Lechuniranina, 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 ladonai. Lechuniranina, 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 ladonai. Naria, Naria, Litzuri, Shenu, Nikadma, Fana, Bitoda. Naria, Naria, Litzuri, Shenu, Bismirot, Naria, Lo. Lechuniranina, 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 ladonai. Lechuniranina, 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 ladonai. Lechuniranina, 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 ladonai. Lechuniranina, 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 ladonai.
We'll turn forward into your Siddur to page 16. There you'll find Or Zarua, the last 4 lines of the Psalm 97. We remind ourselves of the theme of light appropriately. We light candles when we welcome in Shabbat. We feel the light and brightness of Shabbat. So page 16, 4 lines from the bottom.
Or Zarua, La Tzadik, Uyishrele Simcha. Or Zarua, La Tzadik, Uyishrele Simcha. Or Zarua, La Tzadik, Uyishrele Simcha. Uyishrele Simcha. Or Zarua, La Tzadik, Uyishrele Simcha. Uyishrele Simcha. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la. Or Zarua, La Tzadik, Uyishrele Simcha. Or Zarua, La Tzadik, Uyishrele Simcha.
On page 20, you'll find the last 3 lines, the words Romemu Adonai Eloheinu. We imagine the lifting up, in a sense, to God's holy mountain, the image of raising our spirits and our souls towards God. So page 20, the last 3 lines.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'yishtachavu lahakodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'yishtachavu lahakodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'yishtachavu lahar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'yishtachavu lahar kodsho.
On page 21, you'll find the 29th Psalm. We rise as we join together, again, invoking the image of the voice of God speaking to us, hearing the voice of God, the power and the majesty. 21, we rise.
Mizmor leDavid, havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim,
Kavul Adonai, Kavod v'haoz, Kavul Adonai, Pochimo ishtachavu Adonai, Hadras Kodesh, Kol Adonai, Hamayim el hakavorim, Adonai, al mayim rabim, Kol Adonai, Ba'koach, Kol Adonai, Be'adar, Kol Adonai, Shover Arazim, Vashaber Adonai, Et Arzei Havanon, Vayakidem Kmo Egel, Livanon, Visirion, Kimo ven Remi, Kol Adonai, Hotel HaVodesh, Kol Adonai, Yachil Midbar, Yachil Adonai, Midbar Kadesh, Kol Adonai, Yacholel Ayalot, Vayechesov, Ye'arot, Uvhechalo, Kulo Omer Kavod, Adonai, Lama Boyashav Yeshiv Adonai, Melech Le'olam, Adonai Oz, Le'amo Yitain, Adonai Yifarak, Damo Vashalom,
You may be seated. We turn over to 23 and through 25. You'll find our hymn Lecha Dodi that welcomes in the Sabbath bride or queen. We will, as I think usual for Arlene, we usually do the first two.
Yep.
We do the first two, the middle one on page 24, and then the last two.
Last one.
The last one. See, two, I have to do a haiku thing. The last one on page 25. So we'll direct you as we go. But as we get to the last one, of course, the custom is, as the mystics used to do, is to stand and turn and face the door and welcome in, again, the spiritual bride, the bride or queen of Shabbat to our midst. So we will begin on page 23.
Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Nikabela, Jamor v'zachor b'dibur echad Hishmianu El HaMeyuchad Adonai Echad U'Shemo Echad L'Shemu Tiferet Ve'Litila Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nikabela Likrat Shabbat Lechu v'nelcha Ki mekor Haberacha Merosh mikedem נעשוך סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה.
Middle of 24.
התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי 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 שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני
We rise, we face the door. Bottom of 25.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצלה תוך אמונה עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה.
You're welcome to be seated. On page 27, you'll find the Psalm for Shabbat, as once again we join together.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. עלי עשה עלי היגיון וכינון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידך ארנן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
28, where the little arrow is, you'll find as we conclude this 92nd Psalm, Tzaddik Hatamar, the righteous flourish like the date palm, with the image of growth and strength. Page 28.
Tzaddik Hatamar yivra Ke'eres bavanon yizke Shetuli beveit Adonai Bechatzrot Eloheinu Yafrichu Ojenuvun B'Seva Teshenim Vera'ananim Lahagid Ki Ashar Adonai Tzuri Velo Avlata
29.
Erotecha ne'emunu me'od levercha na'ahava kodesh Adonai la'orech yamim.
You'll find the first of two Mourner's Kaddish, Kaddish Tome, on page 30. Those reciting Mourner's Kaddish, if you will rise and join with me, page 30. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah Bialma Divra Chirute V'yamlich Malchute B'chayechon Uvyomechon Uvchaye Dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala Uvizman Kari V'imru Amen Yehe Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Leolam Molomei Olmaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shemei Dekudisha B'richu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Da'amiran B'alma V'imru Amen Yehe Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya V'chayim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen Oseh Shalom B'mromav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. You are welcome to be seated. Take a few moments for a few words of Torah. So the Torah reading of Chukat, which we study this Shabbat, opens with one of the most mystifying rituals in the Torah. Here's how it goes. God instructs Moses to bring a para adumah, it's translated as a red heifer, red cow, to be burned upon the altar, its ashes mixed with water. The mixture was then to be used to purify one who had become ritually unfit by virtue of contact with a dead body. So, does that make sense, right? We take this red heifer, we burn it, we mix its ashes with water, and then this mixture has now a different category, it's a different concept for it, and now it, by virtue of contact of a dead body, the mixture would then serve to ritually purify that person. Now, the rite of the Para Adumah, it just in describing it, right, is quite puzzling, and it has been the source for many creative comments by the sages who sought to offer some kind of reasonable explanation for the mysterious power of the red heifer. So this is a story, of course, in the Midrash, in Pirkei de Rav Kahana, of a person who comes to Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai, great scholar, and asks, can you explain how this ritual of the Para Adumah is supposed to work? How could it be that a cow is slaughtered, burned, pounded into ash, and when one gets defiled by contact with a corpse, 2 or 3 little drops of this ash mixed with water are then sprinkled upon the person, and that person is cleansed? We can easily understand how the person who came to Rabbi Yochanan in the story might see this ritual as a type of sorcery, or if nothing else, a magic potion. So Rabbi Yochanan replies that this ritual is a sociological or a psychological tool to help a person feel better following contact with the dead, something that we know could be a very scary and upsetting experience for someone. Now, if like the person in the story, we can't understand how this ritual works, I don't know if you're still a bit puzzled by its power and its details even, then perhaps we might find an explanation in looking at those details of the ritual itself. I think that one aspect of the Para Aduma, this ritual, is the cow itself. So I think that might provide an answer for us. God instructs Moses in the following way. God says, Para Aduma Tamima, Asher ein ba mum, asher lo ala aleha ol. Bring a red heifer, faultless, tamima, faultless, without any physical blemish, ein ba mum, nothing that has any kind of blemish on it, and which has never had a yoke placed around its neck. So what does that mean? It's never been used for work, right? Never had a yoke. It's not been possessed by somebody and been used for work by someone. The description is pretty fascinating if you think about it. First off, it has to be this red cow, a variety that is obviously quite rare and unique, even in biblical times. It is also to be without any kind of mum, any kind of blemish or abnormality in its form and its physical appearance. And again, it's never used for any kind of menial work. But even more striking than these requirements is that one little word, the third word in that I mentioned, tamima. The medieval commentator Rashi defines the word tamima only in a physical sense. He says it should mean that the cow has to be completely red, right? Have you ever seen, horses, right? See a horse and it's got spots around, or you see cows and there's different colors, right? This cow had to be completely red, nothing, no other color. Couldn't see a little mark, nothing. Even without two black or gray or white hairs upon its body, says Rashi. The rabbis of the Midrash, however, understand the word tamima in a different way, and I translated it that way. Faultless. Perfect. Not only, though, in a physical sense, but in the spiritual sense as well. So does the perfect cow really exist? Could such an animal be found among the herds of these wandering Israelites? How can one tell if a cow is spiritually faultless? Why does it have to be perfect? Those are all questions that arise from the commentators. And the simple answer actually transmits, I think, an important and timeless Jewish message to us. It is that we must always strive to reach for the highest ideal in life. It's no coincidence, I think, that this ritual to cleanse one who had been deemed impure, someone considered by society to have a spiritual blemish of some kind, that it requires what we might see as the most perfect of a living creature to effect that change in that person. When we make mistakes, when we pull away from our community, when we become spiritually lost, perhaps, to the values and the teachings of our Jewish tradition, we need to remind ourselves of the goodness, of the pure, of the high quality of life that we should be striving to reach, and of the special role that each of us has in the world, just like this Para Aduma does. So how do we search for that ideal? Well, I think the ritual of the Para Aduma teaches us that we must start by seeking out the things in life that seem unreachable. We have to continue to search for the unique, to discover and foster the loftiest qualities and actions in the world around us. Don't settle for down here. We're going to lift higher. We're going to go higher and stronger. We're going to look beyond. We're going to look within our community, and most importantly, within ourselves, as we strive to make the world the best that it can be. We're going to raise our standards to the highest we can and reach for that ideal. We know we may not get it, but if we don't set the bar high, then where are we going to be? So the red heifer reminds us of our continuing charge as human beings and as Jews, that even when it seems impossible, we must still reach to find tamimah, to find the highest quality of living, of working, and of being that we can achieve as human beings. This Shabbat, we note the observance tomorrow of the holiday of Juneteenth, which was just declared, I know, a national holiday. And here in Texas, it's been a holiday for quite a long time. Juneteenth, of course, has been observed here again, and I think many of Texans know a lot more about it because it's been a holiday that's been established for a while than the rest of much of the nation. And in essence, we know it celebrates the final execution and fulfillment of the Emancipation Proclamation. I'm a history nerd, I apologize, but that's basically what it does, right? And when General Granger read General Order Number 3 to the public on June 19th in 1865, he at least symbolically put an end to the institution of slavery in America, though we know that it would be a long time after that day even that slavery would become a thing of the past. At the same time, we are still seeing the vestiges of that history that we have and that we must own. And we know that equality and ethical treatment, that living and striving for tamimah, living and striving for that perfection, living and striving for that highest level and that highest ideal, the highest quality of living and of working and of being together as Americans in particular, of multiple colors and cultures and beliefs, that's still our goal. And we're still striving to reach it. And we can't forget that that's part of our mission as Jews in particular, to continue to strive to reach for that tamimah, even in our secular lives, even in how we relate to one another and to peoples outside of our own community. So may the lessons of that Parah Adumah, and I think the messages of Juneteenth as we celebrate, as we observe it tomorrow, remind us of our role in striving to bring perfection to our world. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We turn forward in our Siddur to page 39a, and we always remember that Shabbat is supposed to be a taste of the world as it should be. It's really a taste of tamimah, of perfection, of faultlessness, of the highest ideal that we strive to. So we have this gift of Shabbat each week, that we have this special day that we reach towards, and we're reminded, just as the Parah Adumah reminds us, that we can work for that achievement of the world as it should be, because we taste it every Friday night through Saturday night. So page 39a, we rise as we welcome informally the Shabbat with the evening service. We join with Baruch Hu. 39a.
Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
You may be seated.
Uma'avir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, el chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravi.
Amen. How do we strive for perfection? Well, one of the ways is by making sure that we love ourselves, that we love our fellow human being, and that we show that love for God. Page 40, you'll find Ahavat Olam, reminds us of that quality of love.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu lemadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shokbeinu uvekumenu nasiach bechukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגי יומם ולילה. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגי יומם ולילה. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגי יומם ולילה. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגי יומם ולילה. יא לי 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 לי, יא לי 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 לי, יא לי 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 לי, יא לי 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 לי, יא לי 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 לי, יא לי 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 לי, יהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברתם בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשופך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
We read the V'ahavta together in the English, page 41 towards the middle. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all that is yours. These words that I command you this day shall be taken to heart. Teach them again and again to your children. Speak of them when you sit in your home, when you walk on your way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand and as a symbol above your eyes. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your homes and upon your gates. We turn over to page 44, to get the right page number there. Page 44, there you will find our words, Mi Chamocha by Elim Adonai, who was like you, Adonai, who was among the mighty. This is our refrain that as Miriam took us across, as we got across, Miriam danced with her timbrels, all of the people celebrated, and we celebrated God as we left Egypt. That is a cornerstone of our Shabbat service, because we remind ourselves that what it is to taste freedom. So we celebrate that freedom that Shabbat as well brings us. Page 44.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא 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 תהילות עושה פלא. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא 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 תהילות עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקי הים לפני משה. זה אלי, זה אלי, ענו ואמרו. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקי הים לפני משה. זה אלי, זה אלי, ענו ואמרו. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא 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 תהילות עושה פלא. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא 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 תהילות עושה פלא. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא 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 תהילות עושה פלא, עושה פלא, עושה פלא. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Amen. Page 45, you'll find Hashkivenu, our prayer that asks God for shalom, for peace and protection as we end the day and look forward to a new day of life. Page 44, we read in the English on the left side together. Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. For you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace, now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Amen. Join together in the Hebrew as we sing Hashkivenu, page 45.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamitenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamitenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamitenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ushma tzedenu Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamitenu malkeinu l'chaim Hamitenu malkeinu l'chaim.
Page 46, we rise as we join together in the singing of Vishamru, our tefillah that reminds us of the oath, the covenant we share, the sign we share with God through the observance of Shabbat. Page 46.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם.
Middle of 46, Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה
Amen.
ביאמה דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב וימרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם על מעמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירם בימה וימרו אמן.
We remain standing for the silent Amidah. You'll find pages 47 through 52. Feel free, as always, to add your own personal thoughts and meditation to the words on the page. There are some lovely selections on the left side, in particular, poetry you might be interested in looking at as well. And when you are through, you're always welcome to be seated. 451.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. 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 Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. V'tov ve'einecha livarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. Tasim le'olam, tasim le'olam.
How do we make the world the best it can be? Well, we seek shalom in all paths that we can, and we also offer healing, both spiritual, physical, and emotional, to those in need. That's the theme of our Misha Berach on page 173 on the left. We offer prayers for healing again for those who need it physically, certainly, and spiritually, and emotionally, and in essence, the healing of our world. Page 173.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach imotenu mekor habracha Avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Refuah shlema. We turn back in our Siddur to page 54. There you'll find Kaddish Shalem.
Yitkadav yitkadash shemei rabbah.
Amen.
V'yama divrachirute, v'yamlich malchute, v'chayechonu v'yomechonu v'chayedoko Beit Yisrael, b'galahu v'zman karev v'himaru.
Amen.
Yaheshme v'varach, le'ala mohal me'amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitala v'yitala, shmei dekudesha, b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata damiran b'yamavimaru.
Amen.
Titkapal solotahon vutahon dachal Yisrael, kadam uvahon v'ishmaya v'himaru.
Amen.
Yahesh lama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'himaru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimaru. Amen.
Page 55, we rise as we take a cup of grape juice or wine in hand and toast Shabbat, the sweetness of Shabbat we will taste. Page 55.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit ki hu yom tehila lamikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziat u'mitzrayim kivanu v'achata v'yotanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
Chaim. We remain standing as we turn to page 56. There you will find Aleinu as once again we join together.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol latet gedula liotzer breshit shelo asanu kigoye haratzot velo samanu ki mishpechot ha'adama shelo samchel kenu kahem v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam va'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu notei shamayim ve'yoser haaretz ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו, ושכינתו זו, בגבהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפת סולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבותה אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד, אין עוד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו
You're welcome to be seated. You'll turn to page 58. There you will find Kaddish Tom, our second of the two mourners' Kaddishes in our service. And certainly those of you here in San Antonio, been here for a long time, you know that we feel the great loss of Rabbi Aryeh Sheinberg, father of Rabbi Avraham Sheinberg of Rodfei Shalom. The funeral was this morning, and a no burial will take place in Israel on Monday. We certainly embrace the entire extended Sheinberg family and our entire community. He was a pillar of this community for 50 years, and we certainly want to give our condolences and our words and hugs of support to the entire family and to all of us who are mourning the loss of this great leader in our community, this great rabbi and person. We also offer our condolences to Lauren Abraham and Rabbi Abraham on the death of Lauren's mother, Beverly Solaski, in Dallas today. The funeral was a little bit earlier again this morning. I'm sure they would appreciate hugs of support as well, and we extend our condolences to them as a congregation. We certainly want to give them our support as well. And as we continue to move through the Shloshim period, we keep in our thoughts as we recite Kaddish today, Jerry Friedman, husband of Jerry Belinsky Friedman, Arthur Hartstein, father of Bonnie Hartstein, Dorothy Rebecca Liu, mother of David Greenberg, and Lindsay Demeshki, daughter of Karen Young. We again continue to give our hugs of support to all of them. And as we recite tonight, Kaddish, we observe the yortzites of the following, tonight and in the week that is coming: Rose Adler, Rosemary Altfass, Rebecca Allweiss, Anik Asarch, Mary Gates, Nathan Goldberg, Irene Goldenberg, Hannah Grinspan, Sarah Lee Gorinsky, Maxine Hyman, Jeannie Krakow, Joseph Lehrman, Consuelo Mostkoff, Arthur Okrent, Sam Penner, Jenny Pines, Frida Regenbaum, Barbara Rutstein, Irving Saltzman, Aaron Schnitzer, Diane Schwartz, Harvey Stahl, Diane Stern, Samuel Stiles, Pauline Teplitz, Abe Tobias, Lily Trachtenbreut, Howard Weinberg, and Bella Weinstein Taylor. There are many names that I did not recite that you wish to recite out loud or within your hearts at this moment, please do so. As those reciting Mourner's Kaddish, if you'll rise and turn to page 58 and join with me. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, B'alma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala ubizman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Leolam Ulomei Olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. You may be seated. A few brief announcements to share with you this evening. We have a few things going on this week that we want you to be aware of. Of course, we have Morning Minyan as always, so please be sure to help make a minyan. Sundays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays here in person in the sanctuary. You can join us or via live stream and Zoom available. Mondays and Thursdays, we are continuing with our Zoom minyan, soon to be hopefully in-house as we move through the summer. We'll let you know when that's happening, but there's plenty of opportunities to make a minyan here in person. Weekdays, of course, is at 7:30, and Sundays are always at 9 o'clock, so please come and help make a minyan and join us. We have a couple of things to be aware of, especially for those of you here tonight, because if you're planning to come next Shabbat, next Friday night, we're going to have a little bit of a special Kabbalat Shabbat service honoring Taryn Bertato, who is our outgoing director of Heinz Preschool. She's been here in the community for over 6 years. She is joining her husband, who is in the military, as they've been stationed elsewhere, and we want to be able to wish her well and thank her so much for all of the great work she's done with our little ones, our youngest set, including through camp, through the summer. This isn't just a school year job, it's also through camp as a summer camp. And so we're going to do a special HPS, Heinz Preschool style Kabbalat Shabbat honoring Taryn. So next week, the first part of the service anyway will be a little bit different. We're going to have our kids here, hopefully, doing some Shabbat songs. We'll try to keep the themes going, but Kabbalat Shabbat is about feeling the mood and spirit of Shabbat, and we're going to have next week our little ones helping us do that. So if you're used to our regular service, we'll take a little bit of a departure, and then we'll do a regular Ma'ariv, a regular evening service as part of that. So just know that will be happening, and please come and help honor Taryn, and we'll have a special oneg afterwards as well. As we say goodbye to her, we will miss her greatly. We also want to remind you of a welcome back weekend. You may have gotten the save the date on your email, August 20th through the 22nd. There'll be installation of our new clergy, which certainly is myself and Cantor Ken, who will be coming in a few weeks and joining us here. We're very excited, and we will have a lot of in-person events, but really the focus is our ability to come back together as a community after a long period of time not being able to. We've been making little incremental steps, and certainly by August we are very excited to be able to be here together, really celebrate as a community, and move forward through the year. So as we anticipate the brand new year coming up. So keep that in mind, August 20th through the 22nd. And finally, there's lots of other things going on. You can check your emails. There's a lot of community things going on, certainly. Keep abreast from our Tuesday email. But I don't want you to miss, if you can, you need to join us tomorrow here in the sanctuary. And if not, can't do that, join us by live stream, because we will be celebrating the adult B'nai Mitzvah class of 2020. Yes, I didn't mess up. I realize it's 2021, but this is a class that is anticipated becoming B'nai Mitzvah as adults for many, many, many months now. It's been actually over a year. They were delayed because of the pandemic, and we are going to celebrate with them, right? There will be a wonderful Kiddush lunch that they are sponsoring for all of us to celebrate tomorrow after the service. They'll be participating, reading Torah, and helping out with the service and celebrating and sharing a little bit about their journeys with us. So please join us. Again, give some support to them. And I know some of you were in that class and weren't able to continue all the way through this next little bit. We're keeping you in mind too, and we will be celebrating with everyone tomorrow. So please be here for that. And again, give support to our 5 adults who have really worked hard to make this day special for themselves and for us as well, and letting us share with that. So keep that in mind, and we want to thank Arlene and Anthony. Thank you so much for, as always, for your wonderful davening and playing. We appreciate it. Mindy, thanks for being in the back to make sure we do what we need to do back there and greeting people, which is always wonderful. We are a friendly and welcoming congregation, and that's an important piece of what we do here. So keep that in mind. I think, by the way, tomorrow there will be a Kiddush lunch and Torah talk, and I think it's out there. Is it out there on the table right now? Is there some refreshments back there? Yes, excellent. So you may have seen, I want to make sure it's there before I say something. You may have seen the email from Rabbi Ricky Arad, our executive director, earlier today. We are working hard and now adding back with vaccinations and things, the ability to have an Oneg Shabbat every Friday evening and a Shabbat lunch every Shabbat afternoon after the service. So there is a little nosh out there, just a little something, and gives us a chance to nosh as we go and say hello to people if you'd like. And so we invite you to go back and do that as you leave. And tomorrow morning again, we will do that. And if you'd like to help sponsor an Oneg or a Kiddush lunch, let us know. Give us a call in the office, and we'll be happy to help us do that. But we know that food and celebration is a big piece of what we do, and social ability to be together, and we're excited that we can take this next step in our journey forward. With that, we're going to conclude Yigdal?
Yep.
Excellent. We're going to do a little Yigdal, our traditional hymn that closes out our Kabbalat Shabbat. Page 62, Yigdal.
יגדל אלוהים חי וישבח נמצא ואין את המציאותו אחד ואין יחיד כייחודו לעולם וגם אין סוף לאחדותו אין לו דמות הגוף ואינו גוף לא נערוך אליו קדושתו קדמן לכל דבר אשר נברא ראשון ואין ראשית לראשיתו הינו אדון עולם וכל נוצר יורה גדולתו מלכותו שפן נבואתו נתנו את אנשי סגולתו ותפארתו לא קם בישראל כמו שעוד נביא ומביט את אמונתו תורת אמת נתן לעמו על יד נביאו למען ביתו לא יחל ישראל ולא ימיר דתו לעולמים לזולתו צופה ויודע סתרנו מביט לסוף דבר בקדמתו גומל האיש חסד מפעלו נותן לרשע רק הרישתו ישלח לקץ ימים משיחנו לפני מחכה קץ ישועתו מתים יחיה ברוב חסדו ברוך הדעה שם תהילתו מתים יחיה ברוב חסדו ברוך הדעה שם תהילתו
Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. We're not. There's no bread out there.
Your challah is right there.
Yeah,